So, ladies and gentlemen, today the Malian armed forces were on patrol along the Mali-Algerian border. Now, this is a combination of the farmers and the African Corps. They were moving their convoy, and I feel like this is a bold statement from the Malians to show their hostile neighbors and to show the so-called rebel freedom fighters or whatever they call themselves. Some have called them terrorists, some have called them rebels. Some of them have even challenged me on this platform that I should no longer call them terrorists. But from facts and from evidences, we can see that their operation dating back to 2023, 2022 to 2024, it has been more, of a terrorist activity, more of a terrorist operation. So the Malian convoy was on patrol just to show their dominance. On social media, the Azawadians claim that the northern Mali belongs to them. But ladies and gentlemen, there is only one boss. The Malian continue to show them that they run this show. So as the Malian convoy was en route along that territory, the Azawadians were on overwatch. Mm-mm. And they wanted to show the Malians that, yeah, we are watching you. And according to what their spokesperson said, at the smallest mistake, we will strike. But ladies and gentlemen, they were ready to strike. And what happened next will let you know that they had enough time and they had the proper intel on the movement of the Malian convoy. And it makes me ask a lot of questions. Are there insiders? Who knows that the Malian convoy is going to be moving along the Algerian Mali border? So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened next is funny. The Azawadians actually made that threat, but you would wonder, why did they not attack? They actually planned to attack, but they knew that the risk was greater than the reward. What do I mean? The Malian convoy, according to the information we had drone patrol along with it. Surveillance drone, attack drones. So that's why the Azawadians chose the better way, which is to stay in their hole. So, what was their plan? Since they knew beforehand that the Malian convoy was going to be on patrol, they planted landmines. If you see the shock wave of this mine and the level of devastation this mine could have caused, you will know that these guys, they don't mean well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the video evidence of the shock wave of this mine. What happened was that the Malians have shown throughout their years of experience with these elements, both the JNIM, the Azawadian, whoever they call themselves, the ISIS terrorists in West Africa and all of that, they've shown that they have evolved with time. Because I did not know, because it was a convoy in motion, en route along the northern Mali. So the question is, how were they so conscious to the point where they knew that there was going to be a mine on the floor, and they actually uncovered, and they actually detonated the mine? So it was a completely failed operation by the Azawadians, who could not attack. Now, if you look at the shockwave that the mine should have or would have created, there would have been a whole lot of confusion and chaos. And these are the points where the Azawadian move in, shelling the Malians. But I think over time, the Malians have learned based on the experiences of, some of the skirmishes they've had in the past, and they've developed with time, they've improved, they've adapted. Now they have overcome. And the evidence of the Malians overcoming is how they intelligently approach the situation. The question is, how did the Azawadians knew that the Malians were going to be moving at that time and they were on watch? If you think, okay, maybe they just zoomed in and maybe they heard the Malian convoy moving and all of that, how did they know that they were going to be moving at the same time there was an explosive planted on that same route? Let's think about it. They knew they would be coming beforehand, or maybe somebody had given them intel from a very long distance that, look, this and this and this and this, and they planted the landmine. They stayed in a strategic position. Immediately they make a mistake, we are going to move in. They had their own vehicles, but they couldn't, because they knew the capabilities of both the African Corps and the farmers of Mali, and there were drones in the sky. The casualty they were going to record if they had attempted to attack the farmers might be very, very devastating. It could be a big mistake that they would have regretted, but we never can tell. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a statement by the Malians showing their combat evolution and their victory and how much they've learned over time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have another information. In the same Mali, there was a vehicle that was carrying explosives and also was carrying cocaine. So, this was discovered by the customs of Mali.
Valeur estimée plus d'1 milliard de francs CFA. Une saisie historique, ce n'est pas tout. Dans ce bus de transport en commun, autre prise de taille, 165 unités explosives, 1000 détonateurs, 49 rouleaux de cordons détonants et 360 kg de mercure. Un arsenal entier stoppé net par les agents de la BMI.
C'est pas pour le centre ou bien le nord.
Et c'est pour cette raison que la douane s'organise à adapter ses méthodes d'intervention pour protéger. Nous ferons face à nos...
Et dans la région de Ségou, le bilan de la saisie est aussi impressionnant. De mars à ce jour 10 juin, ce sont 273 briques de chanvre indien qui ont été saisies, sans compter les prises quotidiennes d'or, de devises et d'autres marchandises sensibles.
Les contrevenants qui pensent qu'ils sont à une longueur d'avance de la douane, les douanes seront là pour faire
allier le professionnalisme et la vigilance des agents, tout en réaffirmant l'engagement de l'administration à se moderniser face aux défis sécuritaires croissants. Une guerre de l'ombre où les douaniers en première ligne entendent bien.
Now, there is one question. Who could they have been transporting these packages to in the northern Mali? So we don't know who among these guys they are transporting these things to. But we do know that there are only two Western nations that we have right now that we can really, really talk about from evidence that is really, really, funding and giving aids to these elements. The Ukrainians and the French, right? And it begs the question, what is the essence of the explosive? Is it to destroy lives, or is it to carry out illegal, mining operation? Have they discovered something that we don't know yet in northern Mali? So it further begs the question, why is it that after France left, the combat intensified? And now that is looking increasingly certain that France has lost every bit of influence in Mali. The question is, are they behind this separatist group that are carrying out terrorist activity? There's a lot of questions to uncover, but we have only one thing that I might like to show to you all before I go. We've seen videos and pictures of French citizens and French journalists entertaining this same group of Azawadian rebels or terrorists, whatever we can call them, in France, in Paris. Look at the picture there. Now so bold to the point that they are now coming out, obviously to tell us directly or indirectly that they are in a romantic relationship with these elements that are trying to destabilize Mali. How long can France continue this? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? It's your boy 72 Andre signing out in offset, but before I go, salute.